Well, hello, people. It's Mama Goob. So it is now April 1st of 2025. I had my surgery on March 25th of 24th of 2025. So we're at day 8. So today I want to sit down with you and tell you my surgery story. So I thought about scripting this, but then if I figured out if I scripted this, I would sit there and read it, and nobody wants to hear me read. So I'm going to tell this story as if I would be sitting with you in a coffee shop explaining the hell I went through. Okay, all right. First of all, for those you don't know me, I have a second channel where I react to plus size figures like Anna O'Brien, to a very lesser extent, Glitter and Lasers, and Amberlyn Reed once in a while, just because I have been through a lot of what they've been through and share stories of mine that correlate with theirs. But today I want to today I want to tell you a story of my experience with getting a revision from the gastric sleeve to the bypass. So I've said this in other videos. I needed this revision surgery because I suffered for 10 years with very bad reflux. I got my surgery 10 years in September 2014. I got to go wait, and I stayed around go wait till probably about the last year or so, where my weight slowly crept up. At first, so my goal weight was 150. I stayed in the 150s for many years, maybe 8. Then I started going the 160, and then I started going the 170. And the day I went in for surgery, I weighed 174 pounds. So my surgery was Monday morning. I had to be at the hospital at 11 a.m. The hospital is in downtown Miami. It's the University of Miami Hospital. So it's in the heart of downtown. It's very hard to get to from where I'm at. It's technically 49 miles, but it could take you upwards of 2 hours. So since it was 11, we figured it'd be fine to just leave at let's say 9 a.m. Because you never know with Miami. If there's a traffic jam, you might not get there, at all. So we left at about 9 a.m. We got to the hospital about, I don't know, 10:30 or so, and I was all checked in and sitting there. I didn't have to be there till 11. So, we're sitting in the waiting room, 11 o'clock passes. 12 o'clock passes, so they finally take me back at about 12:30 to prep for surgery. So they're prepping me for surgery. I think I have a picture. I think I did vlog. And I will insert that here.
All right, guys, it's go time. I made it. This is it. It's finally happening, and all I could say is thank God for the heated bed.
So they prepared me for surgery, yada, yada, yada. My husband got to sit back with me and wait. A lot of it is kind of a blur. So in my first surgery, they prepped me with some medicine, some pain relaxation medicine, such. I did not get that this time. I got pre-medicated with Tylenol. Okay, this is just a foreshadowing. Never imagined that I wouldn't get narcotics. I didn't even think to ask. Now, look, I've been accused of being looking for steroids, a steroid seeker, because I had optic neuritis for the second time, and that's the only thing that knocks optic neuritis down are steroids. And because the doctor couldn't quite see the optic neuritis, which was clearly there, he accused me of being steroid seeking. In this case, I'm not a narcotic seeking person. I'm just not a fan of pain. I am a half a century old. I know I have no tolerance for pain. You can call me weak. You can call me a P word. You can call me whatever you want. Doesn't change the fact that I cannot handle pain. So I didn't even think about asking about narcotics because I just assumed, because my last 3 abdominal surgeries, which was 2 C-sections and 1 vertical sleeve gastrectomy, they gave me narcotics for a few days after. Okay. Not saying for the rest of my life. I'm saying like a day or two. I took home Percocet with both C-sections, and I took them for maybe a day, maybe two. They cut you clean on your lower end. So that is quite a recuperation. Anyways, they pre-treat me with Tylenol. Fine. Great. So I go into surgery. The last thing I remember is the gas. And then the next thing I remember, this was terrifying, is retching pain, like retching, screaming pain. So let me back up. So I'm assuming it was about 2:30 by the time they wheeled me back for surgery. I don't know. Everything's a blur. Nobody will tell me what happened, honestly. Because what I remember and what the nurses say happened are two different things, but it could have been a dream. Anyways, I do know for a couple things for a fact. When I got out of surgery, I was very nauseous. And when I got out of surgery, I ripped out my IV and I kept trying to sit up because I was in that much pain. Okay. Again, not everybody has this experience. I am just telling you because I know myself. If I could go back, I would have had this discussion about narcotics way before this. So I'm ripping out my IV. I'm very nauseous. And there's like, oh, you're very nauseous. And then every time the pain came, I tried to sit up because I was in pain. You know, when you have pain, you kind of want to retch forward. They wouldn't let me sit up. So I was like fighting with them. And the funny thing is I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't see anything because my eyes were shut the entire time. I don't know why. Don't know. I guess the last thing I remember before my husband came in is them screaming, Dilaudid, Dilaudid, Dilaudid. Thank you. Thank you for Dilaudid. Thank you, Dilaudid. I really appreciate your help. So then I recall slightly that my husband was there. He was holding my hand. I was yelling for my mother because I'm like a pussy. Sorry, I said the P word. I am. So sue me. I was just in so much pain. So the next thing I remember, they're fine. And I'm like, look, guys, I'm not a troublemaker. I am not a troublemaker. I'm the easiest going person you'll ever meet. I go with the flow, generally. I have never been in so much pain in my life. And to rip out my own IV, that's just odd. I don't know why I did that. By the time they finally wheeled me back to my room, it was 8:45. I looked at the clock and I'm like, whoa, where'd the day go? So that just right there tells you that recovery for me was, I struggled through recovery. So, and also I don't recall the drive or the ride to the room, the hospital room. So, then I got to the hospital room. They're not letting me out of bed because there's just no way I could get out of bed at this point. I couldn't handle it. So then they graced me with a little bit of Oxy that night. Oh, thank you. You're so magnanimous. And although the next morning or the next couple hours later, it was Tylenol, then like an ibuprofen, then like a Tylenol and ibuprofen. It was torture. But they let me go home the next day, which I was surprised because I had such a bad reaction to the surgery. But I did get up. It was very painful, but I did do it. I did finally pee on my own in the bathroom. Had to give me a bedpan, and it took hours. I probably didn't like urinate until maybe the next morning at about 5 or so. So that was a long time. They did have me cathed up in surgery, but then they took that out after. And they're pumping you full of fluids. So I finally, get up. I'm able to use the restroom. They say I can go home. Good. No pain medicine. Tylenol and ibuprofen. And then the lovely people who care so much from insurance called me. And I was telling them about the pain and how ridiculous. I said, all right, so here's my pain rant. Okay, here we go. Here's my rant on narcotics. Narcotics have its place. Narcotics have a time and a place. Number one, people who are dying of cancer, they need narcotics. Like make their last few whatever's easy for them. Done. People with cancer now can and will and always will get narcotics. People who go in for major surgery, it was laparoscopic, yes, but they're rerouting your intestines. How is that not major surgery? To not give somebody narcotic medication for a couple days, I probably wouldn't have needed it for anything more than like 2 days, is barbaric. Okay, barbaric. And then even I read in the paper, we do never, only under very extreme circumstances, give narcotics. Okay, you know what? I lived. I'm here to tell. It was a miserable next couple days. All right. There is no reason, like you can interview your patient. How do you feel about narcotics? What's your history of narcotics? Well, like I said, I've had wisdom teeth out. I've had 2 C-sections. I've had my first gastric surgery. Narcotics every time. And I didn't become addicted. I took them for a couple days. Okay. When it's acute, like when it's long-term, like back pain that you're just going to have to deal with, okay, fine. Do something besides narcotics. But when it's acute surgery pain, give me the drugs, man. Give me the drugs. So anyways, fine. You know, your mileage may vary. I lived, I'm just saying. We went a little too crazy as a society, especially here in Florida. Thank you, pill mills. All right, so I get home Tuesday, very much pain. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, guys. I'm glad I have an adjustable bed because there's no way I could get up and down that bed. But I trudged through it. I got through it. Every day got a little bit better. I bound myself starting Tuesday, or actually, did I do it? No, I didn't do it on the way home from the hospital, but when I got from the hospital, I put it on. It's just an elastic binder. It's like elastic and then it has Velcro and it goes from like mid hip to upper, like right under your breasts. That has been a savior in my mind. You know, I didn't do much walking. I actually didn't leave the house again until Monday when I went to my follow-up appointment, which was just the nurse practitioner who honestly said that I am free. I have no restrictions. Where the paperwork and the doctor said I can't lift anything more than 10 pounds. For the next 6 weeks, I will tell you what, lifting right now doesn't feel right. So I don't care what she said. I'm not lifting anything more than 10 pounds. It doesn't feel right. And I think that's the main takeaway I want you guys to have. You have to listen to your body. So the other amazing thing that I found through this surgery, that it was completely different than the first time, is I can actually drink. So I was on liquids, the clear liquids, the first 4 days. And when I had first gotten surgery and I came home, I could not drink. Everything was pain. Everything was extreme pain then. Right? I couldn't, you know, the pills that they give you for narcotics, I couldn't take them. I have no problems taking pills now because I could still drink a couple sips of water without dying. So that is one good thing. I've been able to keep up with my water. So the first couple days, again, clear. I lived off of water, ice pops, Jello. Those are my 2 very best friends. I also bought a protein broth from Unjury in chicken soup. That was good for me to have. I put that in with, well, actually, the first 4 days I had that just, well, day 2 and day 3 when I was home. I just drank that in hot water. It was very good, very filling. Everything's very filling right now. Like I made myself a protein shake and I couldn't finish it. My stomach, you could probably even hear it, is still grumbling from it. So, and then the rest of the week, you could have full liquids. So that means I could have the cream soups that I like, which I did. Oh, coffee and tea. So I didn't try coffee the first 4 days. I waited till my full liquid day. But I will tell you, my first surgery, I could not handle anything like coffee or tea. Nope. Couldn't drink coffee for almost a year. I don't have any of that problem now. None of the reflux. I really do think that the doctor who did the surgery at first cut the stomach too small. He had to have. I just, my sister did not have the same experience. She also had the same gastric sleeve. She had the same gastric sleeve with the same doctor. I lost a ton of weight. Her maybe not so much. God, love you, but um, I do. I think he cut it too small in the beginning. So it's a little scary now that I can drink so much, but I definitely have my limits. So last night, Monday, I started purees, which is depressing. So they said you can have like soupy oatmeal in the morning, and I did. I got like an overnight oats from Whole Foods. I think it was a little too much. It didn't hurt my stomach, but I think it was just a little too not pureed enough. So then for lunch, I don't know, what did I have for lunch? Yesterday I did a short vlog in the car. I'm not really a vlogger, guys. So I was racing so we had my doctor's appointment, and it was first thing in the morning, and we got home pretty quick, shockingly, because we were going against the traffic. So my husband drops me off and goes to work, and then I go to Costco because it's my sister's birthday. My mom also had a birthday last week, so I wanted to get them a gift, and then I was meeting them at Starbucks. So I was running to get to Starbucks, so I did a little bit of vlog in the car while I was on my way to Walgreens. I'll insert that here. All right, well, today is day 7 after my surgery, my revision from gastric sleeve to gastric bypass. Now, I am trying to negotiate the parking lot of a Costco right now, so forgive me while I, drive. But I'm kind of in a rush. I have to be at Starbucks at 12:30. It is my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Annie Jojo. But before I go there, I have to get a bag, gift bag. And I want to get her some under eye patches, because I want to get me some under eye patches. They had some at Amazon that I was going to try that were on sale because it's their big sale week, but they were sold out. So, okay. Hello, Florida craziness. So, yes, as I said, this is day 7. I am still in pain. At least, though, I've had, this is TMI, but bowel movements have been challenging for me. But bowel movements are challenging for me anyways. So I already take a laxative, but that's coming around. I had my doctor's appointment this morning. I met with a nurse practitioner. It wasn't pretty. I think I've gained like 12 pounds. I was at the highest weight I've ever been since my goal weight on this morning. But I think it's because I'm a little stocked up here, little backed up, and my body's going, what the actual fuck? So I'm confident that the weight will eventually come down. It did this last time, if I can recall. And it was funny because the last time I could barely drink at all. So when I had my sleeve last time, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, like, at all. Everything was a challenge to get down. This time I'm not really having problems eating and drinking at all. So it's encouraging but scary at the same time, because I feel like the only reason why I got to the weight I did, so I got down to 150 pounds within 18 months, was because I couldn't eat anything, and now I can eat stuff. So it's a little scary, but one day at a time. I know I'm not pounding milkshakes. I watched that show, My 600-Pound Life, which I'm sure most of you do, and it seems like Dr. Now will scream at those people in his Dr. Now sort of passive-aggressive way, but that they gained weight, they're not going to do it, they're a failure, blah, blah, blah. I don't think so, because I know that I'm not pounding milkshakes. I couldn't if I wanted to, because that would truly get me sick. So, my first 4 days, I was on a clear liquid diet, stuck to purely like the protein broth from Undri, the shake. No, not shakes. My protein source was from the protein broths. I would even stick it, like when I was full liquids, I would stick it in like regular soups. There's cream soups. Cream of chicken, didn't have any pieces. And then obviously water, and Jello, and those sugar-free ice pops. Let me tell you, those sugar-free ice pops are a gift from God's. So I could just eat those one after another all day, which I'm not going to. But yeah, so here I am. Today was the first day of puree. They said I could have oatmeal. So Whole Foods had the overnight mushy oatmeals on sale. So little cups. So I had one of those when I got home from the doctor's office this morning, and it went down easy. No pain. You know, I probably at the moment could have even eaten another one, but I had to run out. I got in the car, and when I got in the car, then I started to feel the whole like, oh, thank God I didn't try to eat a second one of those. So yeah, so far so good. Oh God, I hope I can get into Walgreens from here. If not, I'm going to fucking cry. Yeah. When I get nervous, I start picking on my face. I don't know. All right, well, I am at Walgreens. I just wanted to check in with you real quick. I have to be better at vlogging this. It's more for, you know, I'm hoping people will see this and not be afraid to get the surgery, you know. I think I'll do well, even though right now I'm not doing so well weight-wise, but I think I'll get there. And anyways, you know, I'm 184 pounds today. Yeah, that's hard to say because that's like the biggest I've ever weighed since surgery. But I know it'll go down again. You know, keep following. We'll see what happens. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. So I go to Starbucks. I ordered a coffee. It was terrible. It was just not very good. I didn't really drink it. So I came home, brought the coffee home. Came in the house, was holding a bunch of stuff, forgot I was holding the coffee, and dropped it, and it popped all over my front foyer. So then I had to clean that up. So I did a lot yesterday. In other words, I did a lot of walking. My plantar fasciitis, which had been very much kept at bay, decided that to come back in full force, probably because of all the walking I did, which really, yes, you need to walk, but I think I need to let my plantar fasciitis heal as well. So I have this whole week off from work, although I want to log in a little bit and do have a training class I want to just sit in on. But overall, like the main things I can tell you is I feel better. The pain is subsiding. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Not only was I in pain with my stomach, but back and neck pain. And the back and neck pain are still there a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's one day at a time, and I'll keep checking in with y'all. You can hear my dog who wants me to go sit outside, which I will. Go take my other computer and take my training class outside. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I hope to catch you on my next one. Bye.